Back to the barquey. Here I am in the vicinity of the Spinnaker Tower, about to exit Portsmouth Harbour entrance. Is it going to be too windy for me? Only one way to find out.
Out sailing the Solent today. Glorious day for it. Gill Kicker Point. I've just come through the entrance. Doing a few wheelies. I measured 18 knots in the harbour. So, a bit blowy. Got a bit of a reef on the main. And a jib. Love it. Oh, look, there's a castle and I've got my pirate flag up. She's a good one. Shouldn't have them both up, but oh well. Chubby's on his way somewhere. Hey! Yes! Huzzah! Good afternoon, sir.
These are my mates Tribs and Skinny, who've just arrived from Brighton on Skinny's 27-foot yacht. They're here for the round the island race. I'm just here for a leisure cruise.
There you go, Tribby and Skinny. Glorious fucking day! I just turned the motor on to keep up with you. Whoa! One hand for me, one for the boat, and one to record you. Need 3 hands. Beautiful. What a day for it. And action!
I love this clip. It's the best shot of me and my boat Charlie in existence. Raising that huge Jolly Roger. I think I need a bigger one.
Later, lads.
This is a screenshot from the Windy app on the day. So when I plan my sailing days, I'm looking for the blues and greens, so the 3s and 4s. Yellow's a bit too much, that's sort of 5 or 6. On this weekend, the wind was perfect. It was in the east when I was heading west, and it was forecast to turn around at midday on the day when I was in Colwell Bay, which is the furthest west that I went. And lo and behold, that's exactly what it did. So I basically had a following wind the whole weekend. It was great. For the next part of my adventure, I sailed round in the lee of the Isle of Wight and anchored in Gurnard Bay. I hadn't had much sleep the night before, having launched and rigged the boat in the dark in the upper reaches of Portsmouth Harbour at Fareham. I spent the night at anchor in the vicinity of Heavy Reach and had to leave quite early in the morning to catch the tide. So it was here now that I had a blissful 2 hours sleep after my lunch. Total peace and freedom and not care in the world for the moment.
I just broke my belt. I've had this belt buckle since I was 15. For future reference, see a few white horses, and 5 jib, and like 1 reef, although it's a whole of line, so can't really count count them, but yeah, it's a bit lumpy, but the whale's not diving under the waves, so getting a bit splashed, but this is lovely, fun. Move out of his way. Hey, this is the overfalls round Cowes Headland. Yeah, I went through a few big patches of chop, and 3 times I couldn't tack. I had to wear jibe. So yeah, wind against tide about 15 knots. Manageable. Getting there.
I took this shot as I passed West Cowes when I was bound for Newport. It's a Forester Mass of all the competitors of the in around the Island race, which was starting the next day. Day before, I called up Newport Harbour Master and asked him if there'd be any free spaces because of the around the Island race, because it was on, and he said he didn't even know the race was on. He said that none of those sorts go up to Newport. This is a photo I took along the town quay in Newport on the Isle of Wight. It's a biker event that was laid on just to cheer up a young disabled girl who loved the sound of motorbikes. Good folk on the Isle of Wight, methinks.
Morning. Thought I'd make you a video to show to Billy Bob. Just motoring out of Newport. That's up that way. Look at this. What a beautiful day. Happy as a pig in shit. I've got loads of beer and all day to go sailing. And the wind's doing exactly what I want it to. Yes! I'm going to try and touch it, but nah. Dodgy. See the current though, eh? How you doing, Trimmy? Kite is up. Barely. Good, eh? Bloody nightmare with single-handed, but done it. Just hope it don't get wrapped round the forestay. Hey. This is fun. I've got this motor going, and my first mate there, the bungee on the tiller steering, and it's so well balanced that I've been steering it up here for about 10-15 minutes just by leaning one side to the other. It's great fun. Loving life I am today. If I want to go left, I lean on the starboard side. If I want to go right, I lean on the port side. Can't do that in your great big 30-foot plus yachts, can you? No.
This is a panoramic shot I took whilst anchored in Colwell Bay. It doesn't do it justice, but you can see the colours. Look, it's beautiful. I could have been in the Caribbean. There must have been 100 boats anchored here, and the beach was packed. I had a nice hour-long snooze, watched the procession of the round the island racers coming by offshore, and then dived in, swum about 50 yards, and then I could wade waist deep in the nice clear water ashore. I had a newly minted plastic £10 note in my pocket, and I went and got an ice cream. Beautiful. The man stood up in the background is Si King. He's the man who introduced me to and taught me to sail, so I owe him a debt of gratitude. If you're in the south of the UK and want to learn to sail, look him up. Broadreach Sailing of Gosport. He really is a top-class sailor and instructor and one of the best men I know. So he and his then sober and now drunken crew competed this day in the Round the Island race. They say it's the UK's highest participation sporting event for number of people after the London Marathon. This crew can be proud of their achievement this day in completing the circumnavigation of the island, as about 80% of those that entered did not. Due to lack of wind, most people gave up and motored home. But I say their most remarkable achievement was hauling this full-size barbecue right round the island, which was now well stoked up with a fine spread of food and beer, for which I was getting the free benefit of. We had a bit of an extra excitement later on in the evening, as we had to sober up quick and motor back to our boats, which were dragging, rafted together. Half cut, we had to undo all the lashings, win our anchor, separate in the pitch black, and find new places to anchor in this absolutely packed anchorage. This is where the benefits of having a tiny yacht come into their own, and the job was done. As they say, tide and time wait for no man. The next day I had a fairly early start to get back to Fareham with enough water to recover the barkie. I left Newtown Creek in my tub of a bilge keeler, sailing in company with a wayfarer. I had to motor sail the whole way, even with the little bit of following wind that I had. And he kept pace with me under sail alone all the way to Spithead. Brilliant little dinghies, those things. I think I'll have to get me one. So all in all, I can honestly say this is one of the best sailing weekends I've ever had. It's amazing how much fun you can have solo sailing in a small boat.